when you put one of those players in crit in a position where he cannot turn the game around, you know you're in for a tough loss, most likely.
I think the bans of Secret were really smart too. They banned on that mag, which we saw at TZ. When he had a mag on his team, he was really active and went for early game items. But they removed that option, they removed the Earth Spirit, and they removed the OD. Yeah, like the strongest hero they've shown so far in this tournament, and it just made it really hard for EG to draft.
Secret wanted to give them TB, and they didn't even know they were going to get IO, because they could have last banned IO instead of Timbersaw. So Secret were well prepared to play against TB, and not just with IO Gyrocopter, but with a second draft. They had two openings that could have worked against TB.
That's why the draft was so smart, right? You get out all of the problems, and we're going to see the same bans come out, even in the face of the IO ban on EG, right? Secret going to be banning the 3 heroes that we had just mentioned, and it just seems so solid because something is going to be left on the side of Secret as well. The ban phase from Secret looking good here again. What do we think Evil Genius is trying to ban out next? ET was their first ban as well in game number 1.
I think EG's asking, well, probably before they even got into this draft, was like, do we pick TB again? Because I don't think they should.
Then what do you pick?
Pick some supports and go into a Jug, a PL, a PA. Get a carry that's going to fit the game and not just shove a TB into Secret's face, because that's not going to beat Secret.
Just like maybe last, even not TZ zero.
Yeah, get a Sumail mid earlier. Well, okay, maybe they're sticking to TB. They banned Timber again. It is a different. Now we're going to see what Secret would have done in game 1 against the TB without the IO Gyro, because that's the adjustment for ET.
Tiny. Yeah. Play 3 and 5 and 4. I mean,
only 3 or 5 with. Yeah. I don't think I've seen Yapster play.
Oh, he played it. Like 2 games, I think, or 1.
Are EG stubborn? Is it just terrible aid?
And the second pick takes a bit long. Oh, no,
they're just the same. I mean, you ban Timber. This is.
I can actually hear the sounds before you guys. I didn't want to spoil it for you. But yeah, so we're going to see it again. And this is once again EG sticking in their guns here, thinking that they know the way to win. Even if they.
Different game.
Hey, look.
No IO.
Also, on the positive side, if we're going to make a pros and cons list here, on the pros list, you would basically say
top 3.
They definitely have a plan, right? And they're not thinking results oriented. They have a strategy, think that they can win with this opener.
But the huge con to that is teams that usually end up winning these huge long tournaments are the ones that adapt.
And the other con to it is it seems like Secret is incredibly prepared for it. It seems like they are saying, go ahead, pick it again.
I mean, the teams were also prepared against EG. It's just EG outclassed them. But Secret and EG, probably individually, I would put them on the same level.
Like, eHome outplayed EG for big portions of that series. It's just EG's just the better, more well-rounded team in a lot of ways.
Yep.
And it was also every time EG could get to the late game, they could rely on it.
I mean, even here last game, it didn't end terribly early, but as I said, if you go into late game with a deficit like that, it's just not going to work. Not against Secret.
Not against Secret. I think we've heard quite a bit on this panel as well. All right, if G was in another series, even with how they looked in the last game, you might expect this sport to be the opposite of what it is now. Potentially have them leading by 1. They've been the kings in losers bracket throughout the entire CQ major, set an entire region packing. And that's one of the things that I think I was excited to see when we got to the arena today. If the fans were going to be cheering for EG since they sent home all of the fan favorites, or if they were going to be cheering against them, and now we see a secret sign. And it seems like a safe sign to be holding right now as well.
But to be fair, they didn't send all the Chinese home.
There's one team.
Team Aster was eliminated by
TNC. But they also got 2-0 by EG in the group stage.
Fair enough.
EG has beaten every Chinese team in the best 3. But EG's always been a bit of, I think, public enemy #1.
Chinese
because they come to China in so many tournaments. Like DAC, the very first one that they won, you know, it was Sumail was kind of the villain of.
Yeah, great memories.
Yeah, he after winning, like he kind of like called out the Chinese team, saying, "Oh, this tournament was. I think he said easy or like GG easy, basically."
Yeah, he sent Black to the desk.
Yeah,
and that's what happened, man.
And the Chinese community was like, "Man, who's this 15-year-old kid trash talking us?"
Yep.
Things have changed. Sumail has a ton of fans in China now. He's beloved here. But I think EG as a team, that everyone in China will remember the number of times EG have come over in one tournament.
question is, can they start to break the curse they've been plagued by? Crack the grand finals, down by 1.
Is that the face of confidence, or is that the face of someone struggling to figure out what to do?
Just figuring out what to do right now. He doesn't look. I would give one thing to Bulba. Every time that he is in that chair and drafting, I don't think we see any sign of nerves. Sometimes when we see him watching the game, on the other hand, which is...
Oh, he got very excited.
I mean, that's like the most... That is such a difficult position. Sometimes for a coach, right? There's nothing you can do, right? You just have to watch the plan in action. You can't... You're not actually sitting in the chair making the play. You expect them to get nervous, right?
When I coached for 4 months, that was the biggest issue I've had. Like, draft, everything's good. And you get out of the seat, you go to the backstage room and watch the game, and you're like, all right, everything's out of my hand. But I still have to watch.
And you hear everybody like talking about it too. Like all the casters are sitting back there with you, just criticizing everything. You're just sitting there watching.
Yeah,
but
it's great. But yeah, Secret, pick up the Dark Tier, ban the 2 counters.
I like EG banning Morphin. I think Oracle. That's the hero Secret have often played to go into TB, and it's Nishi. He's the best Morphling player out there.
Anti-made. When you have a TB already, now that is interesting.
It's these heroes that Secret have made work very effectively.
Team Secrets turn
enough. Lich. Oh, he actually got through.
Every time we've seen him get through to a second phase pick, really has been a lot of these higher caliber teams, just based off of how the band do shape up.
I think, yeah, right now it's like you don't look at Lich doesn't counter anything Secret picks, so they ban Oracle because of the lane matchup against Dark Tier. Kind of makes sense.
I like them. I like Secret's picks a lot against the Lich already. There's like 3 high spell damage heroes, so his shield actually won't do much, especially during the laning phase.
Snacks?
Snacks, or was it like Secret merch?
That
was the manager. That was Matt. So
I thought it was Snacks.
Hide. Okay.
Hide. Snack gonna get locked in.
Lich watermelon.
Lich the most popular hero that we've seen so far here. At Major, now going to be backed up by a Tide, who is definitely not lacking in the popularity contest.
Juggernaut.
You thought Slark there for a second?
I like Slark against Tide.
Yeah. The Juggernaut TB, we've seen a lot of this. It's very TB favored matchup as a 1-to-1 kind of carry matchup, but the Jug, this hero can play it, and when you deal with the TB in other ways, you can make the Jug work here.
The only thing I don't like is if you pick that as first pick, because the mid is also going to get countered, and then the carry is already countered, and it can leave you in a very vulnerable spot in the draft.
Sure. I mean, it limits maybe what you can get for that mid lane, where you pick something that's not going to have too many, miserable matchups.
Yeah. Usually we would see something like a Medusa with a Jug. Stable.
Team Secrets turn to ban.
Ban DK.
A Jug is...
Imagine they're looking at that last game there. It's like, we couldn't play the farm game when we saw our early towers, which is what DK and the Brewmaster this game is going to be a Darkseer brought to the table. You get these early rotations, those 2 heroes group up and just take objectives without any defense from EG.
Yeah, I think Medusa could be really good for Secret, just to kind of round out the lineup. They really have everything else already. It's like a really strong frontline AoE teamfight kind of hero. What else is there for them? What else do they like? I would say Tinker, also possibility.
That's what I was kind of
We've brought up Tinker a little bit with both of these teams, but I know when we talk about Tinker, every single time we hear analysts say, Tinker is one of those heroes that they really only want to see somebody who is a Tinker specialist locking in.
Like mid 1.
Good on, yeah. And it's always against the TB that we feel Tinker suddenly becomes a much more viable pick.
Secret can maybe be thinking about the Tinker here.
Yeah. Doesn't really feel to be their style, because I don't think it's not fast paced. It's not going to take those early towers the way what DK did last game. It's not going to rotate early.
If you get fast travels, you can kind of just siege it all the marches and stuff.
Yeah.
But getting there is usually kind of hard.
Yeah, I feel like it's a hero that can put you on the back foot. Early Tusk rotation
Razor,
to Kunkka. There's no Timber to worry about. That was banned for a stage.
No Razor to worry about.
Which is actually, yeah, that Timber ban kind of, now suddenly helps Team Secret a little bit.
I like the Kunkka a lot.
Yeah, what?
But at the same time, going late game is a bit scary now.
Well, okay, late game, just became maybe a little bit scary on the side of Secret, but what is the strength of the Kunkka pick here as their final pick?
Gives them team fight, gives them control, which they lacked a little
Really
bit.
strong laner too. Like all of the heroes that you mentioned, Razor and Timber, even OD, another hero that matches up well against Kunkka.
The problem is if they pick Monkey now, I see
Kunkka flavors Monkey, right?
very hard.
Okay.
Very, very hard. And then would lose those 2 core matchups already, which is what I mentioned before, is when you're really, really vulnerable. Because you can't really swap the lanes around either. Like a Jug can't play against a Monkey.
Nope. And Monkey does definitely stand out as the pick, but EG haven't just lost with it. Do you back for it?
I mean, when
Choose your hero.
profit.
They're going to get more of a, kind of more of a Summel. It's more of an EG hero, I want to say. Like, yeah, Summel always playing it, but I think playstyle-wise, this gives EG, you know, it gives them something to play around. Last game, you know, if this Monkey's rotating around, this time around they rotate to the Death Prophet and actually take objectives, because that's where Secret destroyed them last game, was these early towers. That's something that EG can now do themselves with Death Prophet Ultimate.
Okay, so now a little bit more even with that in mind when we talk about these early game towers. But how's the mid game look? That was where it did fall apart last time. Secret was able to grab the reins. Does it look more even there as well, or is that going to be the pressure point?
EG's draft looks really good for mid game, I think. They have DP ult, they have Tide ult.
I think
Actually, EG draft is really solid.
Yeah.
it's
I
really
mean, last
solid.
game we didn't dislike the draft by any means. It was much more just the way they approached the lanes and how they played around the TP. This game, I think they did focus more on that mid game where Secret bullied them last game. So I think it suits EG and Secret. I don't think this is the kind of draft they would have done against LGD eHome, but against Secret, it is the right fit.
But once again, it seems like we're in a position where the draft doesn't necessarily need to be the focus. It's all going to come down to execution, and we might decide it right here. Is Secret going to get to go to the grand finals?
Rematch or no rematch? That's the question that's coming up right now. Secret versus Evil Geniuses. A much better draft this time from EG, I think at least, but it does still have some problems.
Yeah, they are. The thing is that the Lich in this game, there's not actually that much you provide the Frost on reverse. It's so much magic damage on the side of Secret, and EG's line is very cooldown reliant.
Not
right?
dead crowd.
I mean, the crowd is definitely filled up here. But yeah, we look and it's got Exorcism, pretty long cooldown. Metamorphosis, long cooldown. Tidehunter, pretty long cooldown. Even Chain Frost is a little bit less, but it looks kind of high octane strategy, high tempo, try to put the pressure on, but EG, they do have some ways to match it. This Death Prop is going to be absolutely massive for their game if he's able to get offline. He really needs to as well. Need to also see how S4 is going to do in this game. I think if he dies too much, it's going to be really hard for them to actually rally around, because he wants to be their frontliner. Death Prophet acts as like a secondary frontliner, but you don't want to be the main one, because then everything is going to be focused on you. So S4 has to have a decent game as well for them to actually be able to have a good start.
And you can see already that they want to avoid that matchup against the Juggernaut. Jug is heading to the top, it looks like right now. Tidehunter heading down bottom, and so often what we've seen in these offlaners potentially going into the safe lane and just trying to either go 1v1 or deal with a tri lane.
Yeah. So Tidehunter can deal with the pressure of these Darkseers, because he will be able to farm the Tide if he's pulling the creep wave with Ion Shell to neutrals. You farm way faster. Sure, Tidehunter doesn't take so much damage in the tower because of your Kraken Shell as well as Anchor Smash, but yeah, Darkseer forces the wave in way quicker, and also just you can jungle at an easier rate until the later levels.
The other thing that we need to watch for in this, talking about the Darkseer, I always think back to the combos that you can have. You've got Shakiro with the Ice Path, you've got the Torrent Boat, all of these things, but then on the other side, from Evil Geniuses, could be the snowball plays. If Crit gets off to an early start, has himself a Blink Dagger, maybe come in and separate from all of the damage that gets thrown out.
Love the combos. We used to, long time ago. Me and Universe, Shakiro all the time. I love watching it. Even the Kunkka, it's pretty easy, reliable to actually land a lot of times with these vacuums. With Kunkka on top, you've got two different ways to actually set it up. And let's see what Yapsor does with his plays, as he started with boots first on the Tiny. Hasn't skilled yet. Might look to go for some toss-back plays here. We'll see.
And actually, they're going to be rotating Magic Hero up to the top lane as well. Lich, Tusk, and Terrorblade all there, so an aggro again.
Yeah, and we see Botto there. Actually, Zai is the one who blocked the hard camp. So you see the sentry ward is there. Make sure that the Thunder can't match the speed farm. A lot of times we see these Darkseers Ion Shell and just cut the waves. The enemy safe laner pulls the creep wave into that neutral camp and farms a little bit extra, but they blocked it this time, so it's not be able to farm extra over S4 as we were mentioning.
Yeah, and a very strange skill build there, as it is going to be a healing ward taking level 1. It might have been a kill. Oh, it's still going to end up being a kill as Fog goes down.
The toss back. Yeah, the healing ward level 1.
It feels like a misclick.
I think that might have been a misclick.
Nonetheless.
Did they get the kill?
Yeah, they're able to take that finish. So a nice play there. Mid 1, taking a lot of harassment early here from Sumail. And it has been a long walk. It's bottom lane. They're doing the creep in action. We were talking about Nisha in some trouble. He's used the healing ward and he's slowed down a couple punches. Looks like he will live.
That makes this lane a little awkward. He's gonna heal up and he doesn't have to use that many tangos. But, oh, they're trying to kill it. They won't actually be able to. Alright. That would be a miskill, right?
I mean, it feels like it really messes up the lane a lot.
Yeah, because now he can't spin whenever like the frost shield is active and they put the pressure on him. Meta is going to be starting to go down, but that's guarantees are easy. Pretty solid start, 60 last compared to 4-0 in Dud.
And even the tag team, you know, not piercing spell immunity, you could have just spun away from that, not taking quite as much damage. So, could become a lingering point there. Sumail walking forward, seeing if he can maybe find himself a Crypt Swarm. Doing a lot of damage on the mid one. In trouble. The last hit. Oh my goodness gracious.
That was incredibly close.
So far, so good. And in spite of taking a lot of damage there, Kunkka having a nice time against Death Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, it's this tiebreaker, right? We say it so much. Like, even though you're versus these ranged heroes, you just have to expend a little more money on regen. So his net worth will be down a little bit, but he's still getting those solid last hits. And soon is going to run out of mana. I believe he's got some mangoes being delivered at least, so that will at least put him a little bit better to put the pressure on.
Oh.
But yeah, it should be fairly even in the mid lane. Just mid one will be spending more money on regen.
Up there in the top lane, Nisha has his level 2, so things become a little bit easier. Dropping his blade to make sure he got some of his last hits as well. High level plays, of course.
I actually didn't get to talk about the ward that EG plays as well. The bottom wards, they both actually do the same thing of blocking camps, so I won't be able to farm it as much as he wants, pulling it into that one neutral, the medium camp on the left side, and then secret block the right side camp to make sure that Zai couldn't pull it in. So like mirror things coming out just to mess with the Darkseer and Tide's farm.
Definitely. Very even, in spite of that one toss-back kill that came out. The big problem is just going to be that Darkseer's got so many last hits and is top of their worth right now there with the Juggernaut as the spin, the toss away. Make sure that Yapzor is going to be perfectly fine as well as Nisha.
They're both getting relatively same farm though on Nisha and Arteezy. And the scary thing too is that every time that EG's trying to pull the side, because they're trying to equalize the lane, Puppy's just chain pulling. So they're going to be getting better experience on the side of Secret. Contesting that pull versus a Tiny is so scary. You walk between those areas, you're going to toss the tower every single time. So EG has to be careful how they maximize and keep their levels to try to get an advantage over Secret. Secret's going to be able to pull ahead in that experience if they keep doing this.
And the way that they're trying to do it is pull it into that hard camp, but it's just not really happening as they're able to interrupt those ones. So Sumail throws out another one of these Spirit Siphons onto mid one. Was able to get a couple more denies in this matchup. 24-7 versus the 18-3.
It's the same thing's happening though. Mid one is spending more money on regen, but Sumail is spending a lot of money on just mangoes. But he will be ahead by about 300 gold or so right now.
Or that Anchor Smash back off cooldown, taking a lot of damage here from the Iron Shell. I don't think that this is really going to be much of a chance for kill at all.
Putting the pressure on though. Forcing him to south now and breaks it with the
Oh, nice play. Zai making it happen. And this is the other benefit of having this Kunkka in the mid lane is the X he plays back up to full, has his bottle now also, so he has that extra bit of regen coming through.
Sumail's pulling out just a bit ahead though, like you mentioned, those denies. It's Tidebringer too, which is pretty impressive. Just that ranged hero advantage as he just keeps getting the Spirit Siphon onto the Kunkka as well.
5-minute mark, Darkseer uses the Shrine, was trying to stack up Ancients, didn't quite get them there. And again, it's Nisha having a decent time against the Terrorblade, relatively even on CS. And across the board, it has just been those trade-offs. And being out of lane for a little while, Tidehunter pulls a little bit ahead, finishes off the Vlads, and has level 6 already at 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. I was actually ahead in the Darkseer in farm. So I had a good amount more last hits, but that's been able to, since he unblocked the camp with his own sentry ward, he was able to farm that a couple times while Zai was pulling it away. So extra gold from the big neutral camp. Really smart, like really smart little plays happening down bottom, just between the ward games. Because I believe actually I saw S4 start with a sentry ward because he had a feeling that they were going to block the camp and all that. So
yeah. Thinking ahead, knowing what's going to come. Tag team, pass. On Anisha, the spin, the ball, and the terror as well. Lots of damage now out onto these heroes, and the Ice Path leveled early. Pop the Fairy Fire just for safety, and with that, should be the end of the aggression. Secret keeping that healing ward alive. Everybody on Secret very survivable.
The salvo for RTZ.
Heady from Puppy, the right move.
Yeah. Sir's almost got arcane boots on this Tiny too. So we see the battle of regen start to play out when you're looking at tri-lanes a lot, and they've got healing ward on the side of Secret, and doing arcane boots like I was mentioning, the sustain for them is going to be a bit higher than EG, and it's just constant. I'm looking at Puppy. This is like his fifth pull that he's gotten off on the single pull. So we're seeing that experience really come into play. They just have a little bit more over EG in that lane. Between the three of them, like Yapster's level 4, Nisha's level 4, Puppy's on the way to level 4, while on the other side, EG is just hitting their level 3s.
And the Ice Path connecting onto that Lich. We'll see if they can take advantage of those early level lead that they have.
Yeah, they're just making sure not to let EG pull that side. Yeah. Just make sure that they can get their pulls up and don't let EG do theirs. Really interesting approach, because with that tossback, as I was mentioning, it's so scary to threaten.
There's not really an answer at all for it, and they're just going to have to hope that they can get better stuff out of those other lanes and play group up around this Tide Hunter once he gets his stuff online. They do have level 6, 7 now on Death Prophet, and about to hit level 7 for mid 1, so 4 points in Tidebringer, as well as having the boat available. I mean, I feel like you could maybe make some type of rotation towards mid. Obviously, Spirit Siphon is hard to deal with, but it's a lot of magic damage.
Yeah.
So, all right.
They definitely could with like Yapsor, right, with like a tiny rotation, but I think they're just matching. They're like, you want to stay tri-lane? We're staying tri-lane. We're getting more of it. I mean, again, Puppy gets a successful Smart Camp pull. Just these little tiny bits will up to make their lane strong.
Now they find themselves crit. No Man's Land, an invisible snowball. Where's that?
What the hell?
Oh, it was on
the creep died.
Yeah, okay.
What the? That's okay.
Next level play.
Forgot about that little interaction sometimes happens when the creep does die, but that looked weird.
Face it.
Yep. Some they're just continue to chase that round.
Oh, there's out the land. Just a little bit of harassment there again.
Yeah, he's got arcane boots, right? But he wants to just keep throwing those spells out. And they have full mana. Constant full mana on the side of Secret. EG is also doing a good job of having full mana, but we see those levels, right? Nisha approaching 5, Absol approaching 5, Puppy near 4. And EG is just a little behind on it.
I mean, it does feel like it is the trade-off with Prophet being a little bit ahead of this Kunkka right now, and also the Tide Hunter having a slightly... It's
pretty much even. Yeah. It's just a slight experience is the one from the pulls that Secret's been doing. Mid one actually tried to make a rotation to bottom, and now he's making a rotation top.
Oh, that's huge if they're able to find it. The torrent boat, the follow-up, it's so much damage with the snowball. It pulls in at the very last second. What can they do to get out of it? Though they're living for the moment, or it comes to mail. The snowball save was so key for them to turn this back around. Nisha trying to run, he can't run. Needs Puppy. Eat this.
Very nice there by... They make the move, right? Sumail matches the movement, having a TP. He saw mid one coming up for a second. As soon as he does, he's able to get the TP, get the... It was a 4-man silence afterwards. Great response to play from EG. As they want to be playing a lot in this game, I do believe that their draft is a little bit more of a responsive draft. Secret wants to put the pressure on more.
A spin up on top for Fly. A field beast as well as a Frost Armor, as well as that Magic Stick, trying to slow, trying to live. But eventually the Lich will die. And meanwhile, down bottom, Rabbit is Crypt made that rotation on the Zai. He dropped the wall, does not connect, and with the snowball finish, so close, keeps him alive.
This time, Crit's coming into play, right? Last game, he didn't have the performance he wanted on Tusk. He wasn't really given the opportunities to. This time, he's showing up already in these first 10 minutes.
And we were talking about a little bit after the match yesterday against LGD. I feel like Crit has kind of been the MVP so far for EG this tournament.
I definitely agree. The two supports even. Fly so many deaths. A lot of the games he's still been playing super well. Yeah. Crit's been definitely the X factor though. I mean, his Earth Spirit is phenomenal.
It's a DD rune. DOS. Make sure that mid one can't take that away.
Gets to the 2 bounty runes as well. So 2 for 2. EG pulling slightly ahead in this laning phase now. They get the experience lead and slight gold lead. Pretty cool. Seeing a... We have seen tri-lanes. We've talked about a lot this tournament, tri-lanes, but a lot of the times the tri-lanes, after a couple minutes, they break. This game, it was like 9 minutes of just a tri-lane versus tri-lane.
No.
Level 10 Tide Hunter walking in the face of a level 5 Juggernaut. Oh, and the Crypt, so he misses the last hit.
That's sad.
Worst feeling.
You hate to see that. And this time, Terrorblade heading to jungle with twice the amount of levels that he had last time. In some trouble here, and S4 just going to back away. I don't think he can really help out that motion. They throw the Foster Armor on it before it goes away. Toss under tower, but Dark Creeps here, which keep him alive. Have Omni Slash available from Nisha. But getting the damage reduced, and S4 again threatening. He's finds so much space for his team here, and with the healing wall down, I think that might finally be it. Or S4 wants to walk further forward.
He's super tanky.
He still has creeps.
He wants to keep the catapult alive as long as possible to put the pressure on the tower. So you see he walks in, he's got sustain from the Vlads with the Anchor Smash constantly.
And now with Smail and Flash shipping back up again, they can take this tier 1 tower.
And that's a little bit of a difference too that they had from last game. Last time, they struggled to hit buildings, even though they had a Tower Blade. Arteezy was the only one who can. This game has got a Tidehunter who's pretty farmed, he can do it, and also Death Puppet who can do it quite nicely.
Wall dropped behind the tower onto Crit. He's being chased by his own illusion there, gonna Walrus punch it and walk away, but they're still moving in with Puppy here as well. In the meantime, they're also putting pressure on the mid lane. Crit still has Snowball of it to keep him alive if he wants to. Gonna try and get over to the creeps. Doesn't have the tower close enough to be able to really go for a deny there. The spin in the jungle on the lich wall. This is going simultaneously, and looks like Crit is finally going to fall. Meanwhile, S4, Rapid turn this one. Able to beat it beautifully. They do Omni Slash. A good torrent coming to try and interrupt all of this damage. Coming out of Nisha, hunting for his prize, and it's going to be there as well as the act to find the kill. Tidehunter just going to have to back away.
Had nowhere to go.
Classic fly game, really.
Yeah, how's he doing? 0-4? That's the space. I mean, it's okay. It's okay as these 5 positions to die with it.
Yeah. Oh, Yapzor also in some trouble. They're going to chase forward. Snowball coming in afterwards. Going to pull Sumail outside. They have that. Just trying to interrupt it.
He really wants this chase.
I mean, he's going for it. Sumail going to be tossed back again. Crit's there to help him out. Let's have the Walrus punch afterwards. The Spirit's chasing. The Shrine is popped. And Sumail is incredibly deep right now. Is still wanting to go in onto this time. He saw taking no for an answer. He's going to be able to find that toss back yet again. He's able to find the finish. And shell Sumail. Don't play his way at this one. Still being through absolutely everything, but the boat, they're going to drop all of the ultis in the world.
Now they're looking for Crit too.
I mean, he got his man, but it came at a cost, and now this Tusk also ran at. They have the Iron Shell on the illusion. Eventually, the Walrus 2 will fall.
They forced everybody over there while the Tidehunter and the Tower Blade is farming. It looks, I mean, kind of even, I guess, in the gold. Like, gold goes Secret a little bit favored, but at the same time, there's 2 heroes that are significantly farming on EG2. So it's kind of like a trade-off. It's just now they don't have Exorcism. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
So now it could be where Secret looks to make aggressive moves, because like we mentioned, the one thing about EG's draft is that they do have to play around timings. They don't have Ravage up, they don't have Death Prophet ulti, and DOTA isn't available either. Just long cooldowns. Fly.
Yeah. Still 30 seconds until Ravage up, and Fly, not at level 6 yet, does not quite have Chain Frost. They kill him off as well. So this tier 2 tower going to be assaulted, and they need to make something happen. And with that next round of ultis on Evil Geniuses. Only a slight lead for Secret. This game feels a lot more close than it did previously. The Mota's going to come out trying to get into range with the Snowball, but couldn't kind of save. And the Omni Slash keeps on going on to Crit. The Snowball finally is out there. It's trying to turn onto this Puppy, and they will kill him off. So a nice pick there, but it comes at a cost further as they've actually brought in Fly. He did it again.
Oh, God, Fly.
Dude, this is fun. He's been dead more than alive for a little while now, it feels like.
Yeah, those two deaths really hurt, because he just showed up, immediately dies. He responds really quick, though. He's back already. Only level 5 on the list. They need this Frost. It does add quite a bit of team fight to them.
He has been hurting. And now Shadow Blade done for the Kunkka. Evil Geniuses, they're going to have Exorcism back as well as Ravage. This is a strong timing for them, particularly with Omni Slash.
They need to make a lot happen when they do have these ultis. That's the thing, is that Secret, it's a similar strategy to they played last time. Fast tempo, same previously as S4. We'll have to try to guarantee they get this tower for Arteezy, walking at top.
Oh my god, he does a lot of damage here. Phase boots, medallion, blasts. Very, very tanky top boat. Now the boat goes out. Able to connect to the avalanche. Easy. Look at this Spectre, he's backed out.
Those timings, right? They were having. Oh my God, the Illusion's actually chasing Arteezy. He's gone away. Tusk Illusion was going after him. But yeah, they use all their ultis there. They have everything up, and Secret kind of walks into it, giving them. They're so close. If Arteezy's even like 100 units closer, he can get the toss off before he's actually able to get that Sunder, and they could maybe get themselves a kill. But EG get themselves quite a bit of space there, chunking that net worth lead down from 3K to 1.
Back and forth that happens when these ultis are on cooldown.
Yep. Now it's going to be Secret or run at them. Because they know that Ravage was used. They know Death Prophet ulti was used. They know absolutely everything was used on EG, except for Chain Frost. So Fly at least does have that one. Fly has to be careful of just dying to mid one here. What just happened?
I mean, you know, if they broke, don't fix. And they just keep killing this Lich. Fly having a rough time.
A lot of gold going their way just from killing him now. 249, it's still something there. Experience only 88, but they're able to put the pressure on tower after that immediately.
17 that's in, a tier 2 tower going to be secured. Since have been able to match their tempo though, at least in terms of the tower taken.
When they have ults though,
right.
That's the thing. It's like, right, they still don't have ults. They don't have pretty much anything.
No.
I actually saw Yaptor pinging bottom tower, but they're just actually going to put a deep ward and prepare for the later stages if they do want to be able to pressure that bottom side. Just have that vision in the base already.
Arteezy is farming very low HP as the snowball to try and keep Crit alive. They move in with S4. Already the macro pirate down and the Tusk is going to die. So, not really the most done. With those ultis off cooldown, and now with them coming back up in just a couple of seconds, we'll see it EG again trying to make a move. Maybe could go for the top tier 2 tower. We saw it pinged out a second ago. Or thinking about they wanted to secure Roche, but
already set up looking for something here. They've placed so much vision around the map too. You can see when EG is preparing to set up for those pushes.
When Tidehunter wanting to catch his prey, he needs to be careful with that Kunkka moving after him, but mid one not able to find it. The Ion Shell surged Kunkka.
And it's scary for Tide too, because there's a couple abilities that you can't actually get rid of. It's like X. X is one of those big ones. When you're playing Slark, when you're playing Tide, you get grabbed by it, you're not going to dispel it. Yeah. Steps up, S4.
There's so much damage on this Tidehunter.
Stop medallion. But yeah, yep, so we'll turn with the rest of the team.
Can't take this one off, like you said, but we'll be able to crack the shell after. So now the interrupt coming because the rest of EG is trying to this fight. They already on the wall though. Coming back in, only Fly, that's the greatest. Fuel Scepter lift up mid one. Can't turn the boat. It's thrown out where everybody should be. And Ani's like, it's there. It's doing enough, at least for the moment. They kill off the kill in the duration of the ulti. This fight might not go the way that EG wanted to. Chain Frost not doing enough either. He's out of mid, but Yaptor was there with the avalanche, the toss, and kill onto S4. They lose 3. Crit, where are you going to go now? They have him fully encapsulated in this. Once again, Snowball to run away, and does look like he can get to the low ground from mid one, but they will find it. The toss from high ground. What the? That was pretty cool. Haven't seen that actually over the cliff side. Arteezy was coming to try to join because as soon as Sumail died, they have no damage. They need Sumail or Arteezy in the fights to survive for some time to be able to dish it out, but Sumail used his jewels aggressively on the Darkseer, gets caught by the boat, and just explodes from that Omni Slash. And that was their fight that they wanted to have go successful because they used a lot of their ultis. A long window for Secret to take advantage of this.
There's still meta for Arteezy, but he's not in for a fighting build really. He's going for more of like, I need to farm as fast as possible. He's going for the Butterfly Yasha. Look how squishy he is. 950 HP on Agi Treads.
It feels like they just need to avoid right now. You actually can't fight into this. And Secret are going to be able to take over map control. Nisha here recognizing he doesn't really need to be that concerned about anything. He's just going to spin and walk away. Maybe if a good chance is there, and if he's too far forward, Arteezy on top of him with trying to run away. Nisha brought down, and that was about the best case scenario. Yep, and immediately into Roche.
Roche with Met.
Oh, this is huge. Evil Geniuses with the big play. There's no buyback from the Jug either, so he can't come back to contest this one. They have the Torn out. There's boat available as well, and maybe that's enough to CG back.
It's still scary to fight in the pit versus Darkseer. He just throws the wall right in the middle of it. Like, what the hell do you do? Even if you have a TB with Meta, that's even more painful because then the illusion's going to keep spawning. You have to back off versus Darkseer and Hero in the pit.
So it isn't going to be an attempt at Roche. Genius is just going to be content with that kill that they took. and try and farm up those next set of items that make them tanky.
Went for the full silver edge onto mid one. I really wanted to apply that break on the Tide.
The breaking people. This Terrorblade in some trouble, and he also does not have a whole heck of a lot of mana stick charges. Sunder available, but not going to get off. And nobody around to help out that DB. The Walrus Punch, Brainiacs are very low. He's just dead. All of the minus armor in the world. The Snowball's trying to interrupt, but they wait on the X. They pull him back after the rich for the Snowball. Now broken, trying to run, trying to get to there. The Ice Path with a Magnifier down S4. See if he can walk away.
They got to get out of there. Secret.
It's some trouble. Exorcism is back. And now the Silence as well, taking the bad fight. Ravage, it'll get on one, but if they can take down mid one, it's such a great kill to find. And with the tag team slow, the Sinister Gaze back, they find that kill on the mid.
Exorcism committed just for the end of it though, so it's not really getting the most out of it. They get the kills at least. And they punish the dives onto RTZ.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower.
And again, we're back to 3,000. 2,000 Warp lead.
The DD rune outside the Roche pit.
Ulti's down.
They don't have Ravage, they don't have Exorcism, and they don't have meta.
They do have Chain Frost, have a pipe, no Kunkka for 15 seconds.
But they're going to be full HP while doing this. They have a flat and a Crimson Guard on Zai. He's incredibly tanky, and he's going to have Nisha. Oh my god, these DD runs right outside the pit. Just the most fortunate thing ever. S4, careful, there's an Omni Flash available.
Danger, danger. He can walk away. He does have the Kraken Shell, which is keeping him survivable. They see how low Roche is, and Evil Genius says, it's so tempting to want to go back in and come and contest for Roche. See if you can buy a little bit more time. Ravage still on cooldown for a while. They're not going to be able to come and get to this.
I thought Nisha would just throw at the he has the DD, but maybe thinking Tidehunter's tanky, which he might be. 23 armor, 2,000 HP, might have actually been able to survive through it. So now the next item, of course, on RTZ and Dumel, as we've seen a lot of these times, is how much magic damage and control MC really needed BKBs. We expected RTZ to go this as well, because he went for Butterfly Yasha, the greediest you pretty much can go on Terrorblade for farming.
Likewise, really feel like that crit Blink Dagger needs to come online as soon as possible. Item can make all the difference in being able to turn around the big combo that we know is coming. And, well, he's not going to get that as the Snowball actually to the high ground, or trying to get to it, but it's just to the Ancients, and the Shards block off. It's a little bit harder to kill him off there, but he's still going to end up falling.
Husk just with 2,100 with creds and 2 bracers. It'll take him a bit to go down there. So yeah, Zai has majority of these auras. S4, he went for the just the Vlads in the pipe, which I think Zai's going to be going for pretty much all of them on the Dark Series we usually do see.
Dire's top tower is under
The one thing that we should talk about with Secret's lineup is that it's not the easiest at breaking high ground. Really, this Jakiro is good at being able to do some damage on like tier 1 towers, push the waves out. Nisha is like NTP, and that's about it.
Yeah, they just spin pressure. There's still the punch they have to worry about, but yeah, Nisha, the Jug's usually one of those, and he's kind of okay.
Yeah. Puts himself a little bit at risk, but as long as you're playing it correctly.
Yeah.
Particularly once the Blink Dagger comes out from crit, that's when it becomes the most scary. Top lane.
Take the word out of my mouth.
Trying. 1,000 gold lead for Secret.
CRTZ doing what he does best, sending illusions to cut these waves, get a little bit more farm in that mid lane, and now they've got everything available. On the side of EG, they want to try to take a fight versus Secret, but Secret still has good amount of time on that Aegis. So area control is in him in the game. These high ground controls, Secret who gets the initiation. This is really important. It's upcoming.
Oh, all the bounty runes.
Mid one punch. It's 2. He's going to be going for the BKB right after that Silver Edge to be able to soak, of course, the control that comes out from EG and their magic damage.
There's a Yule Scepter on this Death Prophet. He reveals himself, but immediately pulls back in. Smell can't get in range. But it looks like they're going to try and pressure for this tier 1 tower bottom. Simultaneously, Secret pushing up top lane.
And one thing we didn't address earlier is I mean, we've talked about Darkseer of Punch's Eye. He's been having very good tournament actually, one of his best that I've seen. He also is a Darkseer versus a Terrorblade. So Wolf of Replica is the thing that we have to watch out for. So the strong Terrorblade gets, that wall is going to start putting a beating onto his team as well.
All right, BKB timings. You have it on the Terrorblade, have it on the Death Prophet.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Okay, what do they want to do? I mean, still, Roche, they're going to have that Aegis for another couple of minutes, but it feels like after that point, it could be a free-for-all.
Dire's bottom tower
Secret got it.
has been denied.
Pretty good amount of vision in these last few moments. I've been seeing them keeping tabs on Ancients or even blocking Ancients constantly versus our TD2. And Nisha getting chased out here. Trying to find eyes on him.
Can he get in range just outside of vision? And they're still chasing, but doesn't look like they want to go any further forward. On the other side, yeah, so Sinister Gaze, S4, he's got Ravage if they want to move into this one. The boat to try and follow it. They have the break, and now the toss back on the Titan with the Omni slide. He's silent, he can't crack it off! He wasn't able to do anything! He has buyback if they want to continue with this fight. So put in position. Crit, very low on HP. It looks like Aegir is going to have to back out. Also lose Glitch.
He's on the high ground!
Up on the high ground, and the Avalanche, the toss! They got him! He's where you're gonna go, clipped up, in trouble. S4 buys back, he wants to deal damage, but he can't do anything. They're too far away from him. That Blade is stuck up there, and Kumail left alone to his own devices. They can't do anything at all. Where's your damage? It's up too high. They want to pull the fight back over to this side of the engagement, but it's not happening. Still up there. Genius is gonna lose their carry in the most tragic of ways. As S4 just wants a little help, but it's not coming. Oh, no. The Ava, the toss, and the destruction.
Oh my god, that was with the S4 and the crit buyback. This could just be the game. Zai with the most game-winning vacuum on the high ground. Arteezy tried to TP, but he didn't use his BKB before TPing. He wanted to save it, he got greedy, and he gets punished. They're just going tier 4, they know.
They know, they can smell blood. Secret wanting a date with Virtus Pro and Zai gives them thanks.
Of course, after that play, that vacuum by Zai, we were just talking about how great of a tournament he's had. What a beast.
Unbelievable. 28 minutes in the tier 4 towers. Right now, it is silent out, but Evil Inks is on the verge of elimination. Secret doing it to him yet again. The throne is assaulted. I can't believe it. Shade Frost bounces back and forth. The boat is out, though, giving everybody the rub up. The damage mitigation is there. The Ava, the toss. They want to hold this up if at all possible. Now the BKB moving forward. No Metamorphosis though. He's feeding into Puppy, wanting to take revenge. They will find that kill, but the buyback comes immediately. Secret wants to end this game, and that's going to be the back of the wall. The cop out. It comes back in, and they find the kill. He gets the center up. Just trying to live through this one. They have to spin it. He needs to back out yet again. Thrown on such low HP. Can they kill it off in time? He's going to have that game called. Secret are going to this.
Wow. That was with their timing. That was, all right, we've got BKBs online. Let's try to take this fight. They lose heroes one by one. And even this little break, and this is the new Avalanche. S4 can't cast Ravage because you're just getting mini stunned over and over again. And then the ground vacuum. Oh my god, Zai.
Zai made the play of the day.
Holy crap.
Play of the tournament.
Так, а что нам тут надо?